Last week, Scott tried to sabotage the entire show by forcing us to draft Kenny Pickett, and Chris Wecht enabled him. Not this week. Let's find out how the draft goes this time on Fantasy Points Best Ball Breakdown. Well, another week, another fantastic week of Fantasy Points Best Ball for your eyeballs and ears on your timelines. Joining me, as will be the case, is Scott Barrett and Chris Wecht. I, of course, am your host, Thomas Tipple. Gentlemen, ADP has shifted, but free agency seems to have died down. Where everything has settled is a little interesting. Where would you gentlemen like to start today?
Well, I think there's, so we had Adam Thielen sign in Carolina. We just had Elijah Moore traded today. I know Scott's probably has a lot to say about that.
I had the scoop on that. Well, I got this now. I had the scoop on that. We had a company meeting and I missed. I wasn't checking my Discord, but I from the perfect source had it that the Browns and the Jets were talking and it looked like a done deal. And I checked it. I saw it at like 3 minutes before it happened, and I'm trying to craft the tweet, and then it happens. And so I blew it, except for one random guy on Discord who's been messaging me about his dynasty team is like, wow, the Jets keep adding wide receivers. I think you think they're going to trade Elijah? And I'm like, yes, to the Browns per sources. And so I have the screenshot of this one guy got my scoop. I could have beat out Schefter. I could have beat out Rappaport. And it just wasn't my day, I guess.
You don't get that many opportunities to scoop Schefter and Rappaport.
I know.
Imagine worrying about that in like a meeting and like instead of just breaking that. What kind of company man are you where you're such a company man you don't steal a headline like that?
Well, I just never check Discord because I just get a million messages from Chris.
From me, specifically me.
You could check my Twitter. My Twitter has with timestamps. It has my Elijah scoop to this one guy on Discord who got it. What's up, Toronto Dave?
What up, TD? All the way from obviously Toronto, the fellow Canadian. Huge shout out to Canadians. Well, I think this draft is going. Omega. Discord is overwhelming. Omega, it definitely can be, but I mean, it's worth it to get into the Fantasy Points Discord. I'll tell you that much right now. Guys, obviously, if you want to play with us today, you can go to Underdog. You can deposit, use promo code FANTASYPTS. Get your first deposit matched up to $100. You can actually draft with us on the big board, which is where we will be drafting today. But in regards to the shifts in ADP, I mean, kind of surprising, honestly, to see Adam Thielen move up that many spots. I understand KJ Osborne moving up this many spots because at least he's had some some games. But Adam Thielen is as dead as dust. Schultz getting downgrade is understandable. Devin Singletary should never have been drafted anyway. Dameon Pierce getting a slight decline is a little odd. The Brandon Cooks move up and the Michael Gallup move down, I find fascinating. So as we talk about Thielen, Osborne, Harris, James Cook, what's the one that stands out to you the most, Scott?
KJ Osborne, like immediately when you said that, I'm just like, who cares about KJ Osborne? Like Conor McGregor's, who the fuck is this guy? And it's like, that's KJ Osborne to me. But like on second thought, I mean, like this is a guy Greg Cosell was enamored with. Whatever his draft capital was, it was either like super late or he went undrafted, but Greg would just like constantly talk about his college tape, how much he loved it. He also had one of the fastest 10-yard splits among any wide receiver in combine history. And then he also has like some underlying metrics that are really impressive in spite of just, never being targeted. You could say a lot of that is Adam Thielen. And I mean, like Minnesota's track record with wide receivers is pretty incredible. He did have that 157-yard game, but I mean, he's probably nothing. And TJ Hawkinson is their alpha wide receiver too, where he just really took that role from Thielen as soon as he got traded there.
I'd be shocked if they don't draft a guy in the first or second round to play wide receiver as well. And we're basically in the same spot we were in with KJ Osborne last year. And I'm saying this as a guy that drafted plenty of KJ Osborne last year.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, so he's locked into the slot role regardless. Like, you need to add someone, and then you would need to add someone else for it to be a serious threat to Osborne.
So I don't actually think so. I think the reason they signed Oliver was to boot Hawkinson to the slot when they're in that personnel. So really all they would need to add
he was already there last year, though, right?
A good amount.
I mean, that Oliver contract made no sense to me, but like teams just keep doing
that's gotta be it.
Will Dissly is like, I know, making crazy money.
Well, I shout out Will Dissly, the dynasty tight end hero, for like the dynasty buy at tight end for like 5 weeks. But that's not dynasty.
Yeah, he had the best like first 8 games of any tight end in fantasy history, and he had like his first 4 career starts, he averaged like 20 fantasy points per game, and then he like tore his Achilles, and then his next 6 games he averaged like 16 fantasy points per game, and then I don't know, tore another Achilles or something, and then he's just dust. But he was once upon a time a player I was excited about.
He was legitimately very good, but that's just the way tight end works. Speaking of tight end, we went into last week hoping we could grab Kelsey in the first round. We'll see what happens with this one. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to say right now, Chris, get us into that draft. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it is draft board time. We will discuss maybe potentially what the strategy is this week. No Kenny Pickett, sit tight. I think for Scott's sanity, we should give him Jordan Love this time. Like, just like if we can make it work, I think it would be a fair fight, because I'm kind of throwing jabs at Kenny Pickett, as one should, because he's terrible. But I mean, you did want Jordan Love too, so we kind of handcuffed you on the bad decision there. So we will see what is happening. Of course, you can come and try to draft with us again. Use promo code FANTASYPTS to get in on Underdog. If you're not already, join the online sensation. It's coming. It's not even really best ball season. Chris, when do you find it hits best ball season? Like when it is all encumbering? Like
this year, probably right after the draft. In last year, the year before, it was probably like June. But I mean, we're talking about this tournament's got over 100,000 entries, and it's like 80% full. Like, that's just nuts. So it's going to get earlier and earlier every year. So as soon as that draft ends in May, I bet we'll be in full, like it might not even be warm out yet, but it's going to be like best ball summer like it was last year in June.
Yeah, it's going to be, and I mean, there is, maybe a little bit of rumor that the, Best Ball Mania 4 will be released earlier this year than it was last year.
Really?
Yes, I have a source that is saying that it could be within the week after the NFL draft. You're going to get warmed up quick. Not saying, just saying, you're going to want to be on the lookout from that. Lack of outside wide receivers, won't that affect Jefferson slot usage from Sloppy Gentlemen's League?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't in the slot too much last year, was he, Chris?
There was particularly in the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
there was
I remember that, and it just like went away. And
yeah, there was a stretch where I
was like, "Oh hell yeah, Justin Jefferson in the cup roll, let's go, baby!"
Yeah, like it seemed like we had to put him as their slot receiver in our wide receiver CB stuff, but then it ended up kind of trickling out. I mean, Thielen and Osborne are not great slot receivers last year, and he still played enough in the slot. I don't think you got to worry too much though about where Justin Jefferson lines up in general.
No, he's gonna be great no matter what.
Dust ball, Chris. Panthers. He's turning 33 this year, and he's signed a 3-year deal, so they're gonna get him till he's 36. I love talking about these guys like they're just they're just dead. They're like walking corpses, and Adam Thielen's I think like 20 days younger than me.
Yeah, that's just the life of a professional athlete, right? Like I did not play that long, but I can tell you my knees feel 45, right? Like these guys aren't,
I'm in the
It's
best
tough.
shape of my life,
It's
unironically.
tough. Must be
Ooh,
nice.
the 103 this week.
Nice.
Ooh.
Travis Kelce, let's go.
Well, I was just
Excellent,
about to.
Chris.
I was just about to say, what's the strategy? What's your initial thought when you see 103, Chris?
I'm fine with taking Kelce there. I started digging into the Best Ball Mania 3 data a little bit, and I have some theories that maybe elite tight end is not the way to go, but I want to dig a little further before taking that. I think Kelce,
before you present that to me, Chris, make sure you're coming correct.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
All right?
Yeah. But even with that, I think Kelce may be the exception to the rule just because of
he finished as the wide receiver 3 and he outscored the tight end 2 by 100 points. Like, it's just so hard to argue against that.
Right. If anything, I think it might be an argument against your Mark Andrews or George Kittle, your Kyle Pitts.
I want Darren Waller. I want Darren Waller in every single draft we do. Kadarius Toney in every single draft we do. I like a few guys like that, but yeah, Chris, who are your must draft guys right now?
Man, I don't know if I have must draft guys at this point. I definitely, I think, man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I've got guys that I've been like, I want these guys on my team. It's just been a lot of the rookies. Like
this is the time to do it because, ADP only gets sharper as the season goes on.
Right. So. Like I've just kind of, I always just feel like there's a certain point in the draft that I get where I just want to take rookies over pretty much any established guys. Because there's just, the upside is just so much more there with those guys than there will be the rest of the season. We just see it every year. The ADPs, you're going to get something wrong. Tyler Algier was a guy that I thought would get drafted much higher than he ended up getting in the NFL draft, and then he didn't.
Who was the running back we took, and we were like, why is he here? This doesn't make any sense.
Last week,
yeah,
I believe it was that to be Dalvin Cook, was it not?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, we did get Dalvin Cook pretty late.
That was a 7th or something, if I'm not mistaken.
That's wild. Yeah, so like these early drafts are great because I'm always gonna have like 3 guys at each position where it's just like, this is Darren Waller in round 10, stupid.
His ADP right now is wild. We're already seeing a heavy wide receiver run.
Yeah,
One running back, crazy wide receiver run.
Trouble at receiver in this draft right now.
I mean, Kenny Pickett is going after round 5. He's going in like round 7 in some of the leagues. That's insane.
I've heard rumors of people getting him in like round 15. It's nuts.
What? That's wild. Kenny Pickett, the GOAT.
No,
the GOAT. No. He's had one good season in his entire career, but maybe he'll have 2 and it'll be this year.
Oh my God. He won't. So we have Richard in the comments. Good evening, guys. Ready to draft.
What a lovely avatar that is. He looks like such a friendly guy.
That is.
I just want to invite him over and I don't know, cook steaks in the backyard together and talk ball.
Omega saying sucks not to have 102. Well, maybe 102 was Christian McCaffrey.
Kelsey's my 101, so we're pretty good. We're pretty good.
Yeah, we're liking that. Shout out Omega.
Teeny's here. I was teeny SGL from Discord. What up, my guy?
What's going on? Happy to have you.
We're hanging.
Garrett Wilson gone too. I mean, the 2 stack at running back, Taylor Bijan, is pretty nasty.
Again, I like the idea of a Kelce Mahomes stack and then potentially not really sweating adding a QB2, adding a tight end 2, just see where the value is. Like, you could theoretically just go Kelce Mahomes, not add another tight end or quarterback. And then if you just have to make it into the playoffs, those bonus rounds, and then if Kelce is the tight end 1 and Mahomes is the QB 1 throughout the playoffs, you just have this massive advantage on everyone else. I mean, I would probably add a second to each position, but like, you don't have to. That's like a legitimate raise your ceiling strategy approach.
The devil advocate argument I would have with that is, so if Kelce and Mahomes are carrying you through the playoffs, they're going to become more and more popular every round.
Yeah, but you have the edge on everyone else because you're the only one who didn't waste valuable draft capital on the tight end 2, on a QB2, and you're crushing them with wide receiver and running back depth.
Maybe, but when in that in the finals where you basically you're trying to get first place, like you almost want to have that dart throw other QB or tight end that nobody else has because Kelsey and Mahomes carried your team. I should probably.
I don't think that's wrong. Right. I think it's the opposite. It's like probabilistically speaking, what is the most likely outcome? It's like Mahomes is the most valuable quarterback. Kelsey's the most valuable tight end. Let's say that happens. How do you have an edge on everyone else? It's not Mahomes having a random down week and Jordan Love scoring 30. I mean, it could be, but also, you have the same combination everyone else has, but you have an edge in that you have 2 free roster spots that no one else does.
Can I advocate for Chris Olave coming up here?
No.
That hurts, nope. Scott.
I mean, I like one of the receivers here. I think it's kind of interesting to pair Kelsey with Josh Allen because I don't think a lot of people will do it.
Why not?
All right.
I think a lot of people would do it. I'm not saying to do it. I'm just
saying, I was gonna say, wow, that was easy. All right, well, we got under 10 seconds, so we got to make.
Did Mahomes go?
Yeah, yes. He went.
All right, screw it, Josh Allen. Fuck it, YOLO.
So basically, we just need Kelsey to be awesome again, but Mahomes not to be better than Josh Allen.
All right, we need to make a Chad Henne team then.
Could you imagine? So with the rumors of Hopkins and OBJ like potentially looking to go to Kansas City, like I that's outrageous, right? Like that's kind of insane.
I mean, OBJ stinks. Like I don't think smart teams are seriously considering OBJ. I
don't think
that doesn't mean anything to me. Hopkins, I guess, is interesting, and he's a big improvement on a dusty Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman, who's never done anything. But I mean, I think if Tony just stays on the field, we've been saying that for a while. He could be really special. And Justin Ross, like I still believe. I know that makes me sound like an insane person, but I mean, I would rather own him in Dynasty than Sky Moore almost.
Ouch. That hurts. Omega out here, Omega King. I've seen Hurts Kelsey more than Allen Kelsey, so something to be said. Oh, look, we still ended up with Chris Olave. We love that. I love.
Yeah, what's going on? Who hijacked these last 2 rounds? I never signed off on Josh Allen. I never signed off.
I believe if I were to run the tape back, you believe your words were fuck it when it came to Josh Allen. So you did
not exactly
Josh
a ringing
Allen.
endorsement, though.
Hey, but you still said it. It counts. You can't.
I mean, that's what Joe Douglas said when he drafted Zach Wilson. I heard. He just said, fuck it.
Hopefully, this is a better outcome. What do you have against Chris Olave?
Really. I just wanted to see who else was available.
Oh,
I mean, I was worried about us getting absolutely buried at receiver.
Yeah, can I just see who's available at wide receiver, just in case there's no one? I mean,
it's already looking sad.
Yeah, like when we come back around at what's our name?
No, that was the right pick. So.
Yeah, we'd be looking at Christian Kirk, Drake London, Pittman.
So shout out.
I mean, JSN's looking mighty good right now at this point.
I mean,
yeah, Scott, did you see his 40 times today? Does that mean anything? I know wide receiver 40 times are not super correlative to NFL success, but
Ohio State has like the fast track, right? Like you have like the best turf for it's basically like an indoor track turf. Like Ohio State pro day 40s are always so much better than combine 40s. I just I don't really care about it. JSN's my wide receiver 1, and I never so like almost nothing can change that, and this is just that's a good thing.
Yeah, doesn't really move him up, but doesn't wouldn't like it would have had to be a 4.75 or something.
Right. I mean, what are these scouts going to do? That's the thing, because every single scout is like, well, he's amazing, but I think he's slow. And so like what? He just ran the 40 faster, and now you move him up 10 spots.
I mean, not to mention he absolutely set, if I'm not mistaken, the combine record for agility drills. Like, I mean, it's not like he's an unathletic bum.
Yeah, especially for the slot. Like, so he beasted and the stuff that matters most. And the 40-yard dash is like super overrated for wide receivers, and it's especially overrated for slot wide receivers. Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp, Jarvis Landry, Hunter Renfrow. It doesn't really matter at all. JSN, what mattered to me was this guy had the toughest target competition in college football history and was a year or 2 years younger than Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and he was insanely productive, more productive than both of them. Brian Hartline is saying this is maybe like the best wide receiver I've ever had my hands on. Wilson and Olave are both saying this guy's better than me. Like, what are we doing here, people? And so if you want to say he's slot only, and that's why he's, draft capital is going to be low, whatever. Like, that matters for the NFL. It doesn't matter at all for fantasy. And if you're drafted in round 1, that's arguably a good thing. Because slot wide receivers are the possession wide receivers who get peppered with targets. So if you draft a guy in round 1, that's coming.
Yeah, I just wish his ADP was closer to all these other rookie receivers that we think.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably smarter for us to attack the, Quentin Johnson, Marvin Mims of the world. Like, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, look, he's actually, he's going before Tyler Lockett.
I mean, I want to load up on these sophomore wide receivers. I love every single one of these sophomore wide receivers.
Like Drake London looks mighty fine
maybe
here.
Right here.
Yeah, he. I had an amazing little blurb on him that I haven't written up anywhere, but it's just. Let's see.
I mean, it can't. His passing volume and his QB play literally can't get any worse than what it was.
Yeah, so that's basically it. So over the last 6 weeks of last season, he led all wide receivers in yards per route run, yardage market share, targets per route run. He was the first wide receiver selected in the 2022 NFL draft. He was my wide receiver 1. And his rookie season situation couldn't have been any worse. The Falcons had a sloth-paced offense. They ranked 4th worst in plays per game. They were wide receiver. They were World War II era levels of run heavy. It was the 2nd worst pass rate over expectation in like 10 years. It was the 2nd fewest pass attempts per game in 30 years. And then Marcus Mariota ranked worst of like 35 quarterbacks in off-target throw rate. Desmond Ridder was even worse than he is.
All right, what do you want to?
Is he gone? Are you kidding me?
No, we got Drake London,
Okay,
but now we're up again.
Let's take Keenan Allen. Why is he there?
Yeah, I was actually going to point out. So we just saw JSN go before Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin.
Stupid.
That seems. I mean, like what? Like, does JSN have what's the % chance that JSN outscores Keenan Allen or Terry McLaurin this year? Like, how much of a ceiling outcome is that
for JSN?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to gravitate towards the safety of a Terry McLaurin.
I mean, is he safe without Heineke at this point? I don't.
Who's the starter on day 1? Sam Howell or Jacoby Brissett right now?
I think it's Howell.
Hey, I mean, Jacoby Brissett supported Amari Cooper as like a legit fantasy option.
I would prefer Brissett personally, but I think it'll be Howell. But I mean, Rivera's likely trying to save his job, so it could be Brissett. But I don't know. Either way, it's just Terry McLaurin without Heineke has been underwhelming, which is very strange.
Let's look at quarterback ADP and just find a quarterback to target.
We have Allen, so we're
exactly. So like, scroll down. Wait, what is Deshaun Watson? What is he? QB9? Just out of curiosity. All right, scroll back down. Sorry. Trey Lance is someone I'd like. Bryce
Goff, I think, is solid.
Scroll down. Anthony Richardson. Well, there's a little bit of a risk.
Jordan Love,
year 1 starter. Jordan Love, yeah. Bryce Young, Jordan Love, CJ Stroud.
We'll try to get you your Jordan Love shit.
And let's not draft 3 quarterbacks. Oh, this is the tournament where
it is 20 rounds, so that's not a bad idea. Especially so QB is your by far the position that'll contribute the most points to your roster. So there's already been arguments about people saying you should always take 3 in the 18-round drafts. So I think it's not even if you take a Josh Allen or Mahomes, it's not a bad idea to have 3 at QB.
I mean,
But
it really depends on who the third is.
right. I was going to say you shouldn't force somebody either, though, just to
Yeah.
say you have 3.
Right. Like Kenny Pickett last year had 1 game over 16 fantasy points, and he scored 19.1. It's like a bad day for Josh Allen is still 6 points above that. So he's never cracked. He's just dead roster space.
Right. So we've totally not drafted a running back yet. There hasn't really been one I've liked in the when without we'd
Can you
have to
click on
read.
tight end? All right, Darren Waller. Oh, Kyle Pitts. Oh boy.
Stack with it. Build
Yeah,
the stack and
baby.
take Desmond Ritter late, or
I
didn't
mean,
they sign
he's
somebody
going
else?
to be their quarterback this year.
Desmond Ritter for
Did
sure.
they not sign a vet guy? I'm forgetting. Not
If I'm
Baker
not
went to
mistaken,
Tampa.
Yeah,
Heineke.
Heineke.
Heineke, that's right. Yeah.
But off a torn ACL though, it's a little risky.
Yeah. Burn zone took us from him anyway.
Well,
Dream is dead.
you probably saved us on that one personally.
I need to be saved from drafting Kyle Pitts.
I mean, it happens. It happens. I mean,
So tight end position, what I like to do is pay up for someone who I think can be an oligarch, an alpha, one of these wide receiver ones masquerading as a tight end who can put up top 15 wide receiver levels of fantasy production. That's just so valuable. If not that, I like to just full on punt the position because there is a high hit rate of finding a late round tight end who finishes top 5 at the position. Last year was Evan Ingram. And, every year there's 1 or 2 guys like that. The year before that, it was Gronk and Buffalo's tight end. The year before that, it was Robert Tonyan and someone else. Darren Waller, George Kittle, their breakout years. Anyway, but not right now. Right now, I want Darren Waller.
All right, Scott, I need you to tap into
We have
your
0
sources.
running backs.
What do we not know about Dalvin Cook that he's about to fall 12 picks past ADP
Again. All right, we got to take Dalvin Cook.
What are your sources? What do we not know?
Well, he just signed Alexander Madison, right?
You mean the guy that's been? Oh, there it goes. Never mind.
Sorry, my wife.
Chris, this is twice now. Stop talking about the guys right before we take them at this point. Like in the private chat, maybe.
Damian Pierce, right? Oh, Joe Mixon. Kadarius Toney.
Like what if it's not as bad?
No, fuck that. No, he's
not going to play till week 6.
Week 16. Kadarius Toney, Joe Mixon, and Damian Pierce. We're going 0 RB.
I kind of want to take Gabe Davis here because we have Allen.
No, fuck him.
What about Dotson? If you want Dotson or Quentin Johnson, maybe over someone like Gabe. I
like them better, but we do. I mean, I guess Allen doesn't really need a stack.
You can always stack him with Knox.
True.
Or Landry.
Wow,
late.
That was a good call, Thomas.
Landry
Deontay
late.
Hardy.
Yeah, I kind of Miles Sanders,
Hardy.
Quentin Johnson, Jahan Dotson are my 3 favorites.
Did Kadarius go?
Yeah, he went.
All right, where's Darren Waller?
He's farther down.
Still, how is he going after Evan Ingram?
Well, I mean, we could take him here. We're just gonna.
Yeah, screw it. Can you just get my guy? Do we have a tight end already? Oh,
yeah, we have
duh. Oh, we don't. That's
Scott.
Brain fart. All right.
No.
All right. Kenny Pickett?
Sanders, Dotson, or Quentin Johnson?
This is how we got.
I'll take Dotson.
This is how we got handcuffed into Kenny Pickett last time. Scott was just watching something else on the monitor.
Jahan Dotson was pretty awesome last year, especially if you account for his midseason injury. He missed 5 games, and he played a number of games where he was capped at 66% of the snaps or less. So if you just look at the games he played on over 2/3 of his team snaps, he was more productive than Michael Pittman. He was more productive than Terry McLaurin, a number of wide receivers you wouldn't, more than Olave, who I think you made us take in round 2. So
round 3, you made us take Josh Allen in round 2. So,
well, no, Chris did that.
All right, is Roofing Man in this watching the stream? Because now he took Dalvin Cook and now he took Miles Sanders, who we were just talking about, also taking.
Ooh,
Roofing Man, if you're in here,
the
you gotta let us know
Wallace
now.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Might have some lurkers in the stream.
Can you? I wish you could talk shit in an underdog.
Like
draft.
in the draft room, you mean?
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about
Like you
it.
do in your high school redraft leagues and stuff.
Yeah, I just want to talk relentless shit. I do that in like the FFPC chats. I just try and like get in people's heads and just mess with them. I'm like, how many quarterbacks are you allowed to take?
Oh,
Like, is
you're
Tom
playing the.
Is
I've
Tom
never
Brady
played this game
retired?
before.
Is Tom Brady
Jeez
retired?
Louise.
Yeah.
Are we sure?
I used to do that in poker too. I used to be like, what's higher, a K or a Q? And then I would take all their money and they would hate me. I can't believe I forgot we took Kelsey and I was going to get Waller for us. I mean, that's a counter argument for Kelsey 101. Is Waller's stupid ADP?
Yeah, he's definitely later than he probably should be.
Toronto Dave loves that trash talk. Would be hilarious.
Who are we talking trash about?
Phil talking shit to Todd on FFPC.
Guess what? Dome favors. I think you're a. How about that?
I love this for Scott. I love that.
This is the whole reason why I got it.
You gotta drop the head movement though. It's
I know you. Man, Chris doesn't have one. He's missing out.
No,
we're gonna get it. Look, I told Scott when we first started talking that one day I was gonna make sure he had one, and I've now convinced him after like 2 months. So get ready for your DMs to start filling up, buddy.
A burn zone. What is this? The dead zone? You're so slow. Got him.
Oh, got him. He jumped on the Javante grenade in the 8th round.
Yikes.
Interesting.
Per sources, Chris, Javante might not play a game this year, so have fun with that.
That's not good.
Why don't we get that IR designation early for Dynasty? Please don't do that.
I think Kareem Hunt's going there, actually.
Yeah, what is going on with him? Why is he still not signing anywhere?
I have no idea. He might be overinflating his self-worth. Remember, he tried to do a trade, and then like every team was like, "Yeah, we don't want him." Or maybe Cleveland just shut that down. I don't remember.
We've got a couple of running backs that may get hurt in the draft if their teams draft a guy like Rashad White, Khalil Herbert, Jacoby Myers in Las Vegas. Zay Flowers is a nice rookie receiver. Anybody?
Is that really it for running back?
Since we went 0 RB, Zach Charbonnet. Oh, dude, Alvin Kamara. What the fuck? Just take Alvin Kamara.
How many games do you think he misses?
Who cares?
I think we can get him on the way back.
All right, that's fine.
Should.
But I mean, like, I value that upside a lot. I guess Rashad White kind of has that too.
Oh, I'm not saying I don't like Kamara. I'm just saying I think
that
make it back around to us.
Tampa, like that team just sucks ass and like might be punting and has so many holes. I could see it just being the Rashad White show.
Yeah, they have.
Khalil Herbert can't catch passes, but he's safe. He's a good runner. Alvin Kamara, come on.
Don't worry, he's coming back around.
Better.
No, because is our draft sniper picking before?
No, he was on the. Yeah, I made sure.
Smart. Roofing Man.
Roofing Man's not getting us again.
No. Oh no.
He's perched on the roof with his sniper. Just
good job. Nobody.
There we go.
Okay.
Right, so we have Josh Allen. I better remind Scott of our team so we don't try to draft it. Josh Allen, Joe Mixon, Rashad White, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Drake London, Keenan Allen, Jahan Dotson, Travis Kelce.
These are a lot of my teams, like the all asshole teams. Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt.
I really like this team so far.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I bet you do.
We could grab Derek Carr and we've already got Olave and Kamara now.
Oh, let's get some wide receivers. I wanted to test the.
No, I'm not saying right now. I'm just
Yeah.
I do like
planting
the
seeds.
car stack. I will again pound the table for Juwan Johnson if we are looking to stack New Orleans Saints.
That's a fine like late tight end.
Yeah,
with
I will.
Kelsey.
I will pound the table once again.
Someone just took James Cook. That's hilarious. Oh no, Elijah Moore's gone. Cleveland's wide receiver.
What was his ADP? That's actually what I want to see.
I can look that up if you would like.
Do you like Damian Harris over James Cook, or neither one, or both?
Damian Harris over James Cook?
Yeah,
obviously. James
obviously.
He's a shitty little scat back.
I don't totally disagree with you. I'm surprised you said obviously.
I think at cost is also the big thing too.
No, it's just James Cook stinks. Sorry.
You're feisty today.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you're a little savage today.
Yeah. And you know what it is? I'm just like way behind on my rookie model. I need to take it out on someone.
Okay. All right.
It's gonna be roof shingles layer, whatever. Roofer man. That
So
double tapping the quarterbacks on the turn.
it looks like his ADP was hovering. Give me 1 second. Just had it.
Did he go before Alan Lazard? He did, didn't he?
He was going just after KJ Osborne and just before Jalen Hyatt.
Okay. So he went after Osborne and Hyatt's still out there. So there goes Hyatt. So he went about where he's been going.
Wide receiver 54-ish.
Yeah.
So that's obviously going to jump up now. He's probably going to creep into that wide receiver 3 territory.
Listen to me. All right, I don't want Roofer Man. Like let's mess with Roofer Man. Ready? Like we know he's listening. Yeah. So here's what we'll do. Wow. So like I really hope Kenny Pickett falls to us here. That would be so amazing if Kenny Pickett falls. Do you think this is gonna work? I think it's gonna work.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he just sophomore quarterbacks,
Teeny _SGL locked up the Elijah stack. ADP was 115. Donovan Peoples-Jones was 109. He should drop now with more coming.
Oh, was Teeny in this with us? Are we up against Teeny?
It kind of sounds like it.
Yeah, I think he was last week too.
Are you the sniper?
Is he the sniper?
Oh my god.
Man. Yeah, tell me which team drafted Elijah.
It was Lentman.
Oh, Lentini. Sure. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
That makes sense. Okay. All right. We're not gonna talk trash on Teeny.
All right, so
roofing man, Kenny Pickett. Don't take him, please.
If it happens,
it'll be something.
He takes Gino.
That's even worse. What are you doing, roofing man? All right.
So we could probably still wait on QBs.
Click on wide receiver.
DPJ, Lazard, and Sky Moore, Josh Downs.
I'm okay with Lazard.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well. Do you think they still move? It was rumored like Corey Davis might get cut to make room for Lazard. Now Elijah's gone. Well, I guess they brought Mecole Hardman in, so yeah, Corey Davis could still be on his way out.
I mean, we've also never seen Mecole Hardman in a full-time role, so I could see them rotating. Jets do like to rotate.
And what if we go Rodgers here and stack it?
I mean, that's insane value. I kind of can't argue with that value. Dalton Schultz is good value too.
Because if we want 3 QBs, this is kind of where I would want the second one to be. Because ideally, the third one comes from this
from
group.
Kenny Pickett in round 18.
Stop. I'm gonna mute that mic every time. Like Kenny Pickett's gonna come out, you're gonna want a timeout. All right, every time you're gonna be in a timeout. Producer's call. You're putting you in a timeout.
I mean, that would be awesome if you had a timeout button like what is that, around the horn?
Just wait. We'll get there.
Right.
I thought you were literally about to.
I would love that. And then once we get guests on, and
you demote him. That works.
Wow. Damn, I didn't know you had that sort of power. I need to be
bold.
nicer to Thomas.
I have all the power in this.
Wow. Yeah, can we look at wide receivers? I think just that's the most important position. So let's just game plan. Wandale, is there a chance? You know, he's a thing. It's this, you know, it's the same regime that drafted him, had high hopes for him. I know they added a bunch of guys. But
I know they added. I don't love. I mean, they needed guys, but the types of guy, like why add a Paris Campbell?
He's speed, while Wandale is kind of the possession underneath. Alec Pierce, I could see him taking a big step forward, but this isn't the same regime that him. No, it's the same GM, right?
Same GM, different coach.
Yeah, different coach. Rondale Moore, again, regime change. So it's a lot of wide receivers with the regime uncertainty. I think Rashid Shaheed.
Keep building out our Saints stack.
So then we have to get Carr, right?
So I think Shaheed is.
We definitely would.
So you said this last week, Chris, where you were worried about Shaheed because, you know, Deontay Hardy was the guy everyone was excited about because his stats look so good. But Shaheed, I mean, speed freak, undrafted free agent rookie with an elite yards per route run. It was like one of the 10 best ever rookie season yards per route run. That's like a super predictive stat. But from a best ball perspective, he led the league in percentage of catches gaining 25 plus yards, 30 plus yards, 40 plus yards, 50 plus yards. So that sort of big play upside goes a long way in best ball for those spike weeks.
So, no, I agree with that. He's a guy I plan on drafting a lot. I mean, like, I'd rather have him over Rondale Moore, Isaiah Hodgins, Alec Pierce, definitely over OBJ.
Yeah. Your guy, DJ Chark. Hunter Renfrow.
DJ Chark is going to outperform this ADP.
Easily.
Yeah, to what degree? I mean, what team is he even on? Does anyone even want him?
I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up back with the Lions, and I wouldn't hate that if he does.
Yeah.
So Dawson Knox went off the board, so we cannot stack him with Josh Allen.
I think it kind of comes down to what happens at quarterback coming up at this point.
Yeah. I don't know if Derek Carr will fall to us, but it would be nice to have that Saints full stack.
Wow, Greg Dulcich is going late. I can see him in that Sean Payton big slot role. Marquez Colston, Michael Thomas, Jimmy Graham. I
mean, three-leg Greg is a good bet to make.
They're trying to move Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, that's
interesting to me.
I mean, yeah, we only have one tight end. Let's do that. I kind of don't love our wide receivers considering we spent a lot of early draft capital on it.
You love the sophomore guys. We got two of the top guys. Got three of the sophomore guys. I mean, the Allen Lazard pick, questionable. But, I mean, we have Rodgers, so it is what it is. I mean, Keenan Allen, sharp pick. I mean, what do you not love about the wide receivers?
I think we could push tight end farther and keep adding wide receivers or running backs for that matter.
I mean, I feel like I would have prioritized a tight end 2 over a QB 2, just because they contribute.
Why? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're never. Their tight end 2 is never. Hopefully, is never in our flex.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Unless he does have that Jimmy Graham sort of breakout year, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers should. No, I guess that's different. Yeah, that's different.
All right.
I
mean, I like
wide receiver. Let's just stick with wide receiver.
I like Shaheed
Yeah,
here.
right. Boom.
I mean, we don't have Carr, but I think that's fine.
What about Thielen just as a pure volume play?
It just feels like so low upside in a half PPR format. Like,
I mean, he's a touchdown god. What are you talking about, Chris?
Would it be a touchdown god with AR-15 going to the?
I mean, that's not going to happen.
I'm just putting it out in the ether. Okay, just seeing how it feels to say right now.
what do you think about Mostert as a, we get a couple good ceiling games out of him before he ultimately gets hurt?
I think that's great. I think that's a great call.
I find it interesting that you're not looking more at Elijah Mitchell, the man that you say was holding Christian McCaffrey back from elite RB1 status last year.
Oh, I mean, that's another really good call.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Zeke.
not against that. Which one? We're not drafting Zeke, Mitchell or Mostert.
Why aren't we drafting Zeke?
Because it's like the Kenny Pickett of running backs. Like, what is the upside?
Yeah, what happens when Miami signs Zeke? What does that do to?
Oh,
no, he's not signing Miami. And even like, it's just I don't know. Like, what do you hope to get out of Zeke? I mean, it's going to have to be a very.
There's going to be some old school coach GM combo that just wants to give him 250 touches and he'll plot his way to 12 touchdowns.
But it's going to have to be on a team that scores a lot of touchdowns, and which. All right, so Buffalo's not doing it. Philly's not doing it. Kansas City is not doing it.
Baltimore, please don't.
No.
This is why I kind of like RB1, round 1 running back, round 2 running back teams, just because there are no good landing spots, and every running back is going to be in a committee. So you get an Eckler, you get a Bijan, you get a Saquon, you get a Dalvin. I think there's a big edge in that.
I do think some of those landing teams like Kansas City, Philly, whoever, there's a shot they draft a running back, in the second, third round that, we might not think they will, but I wouldn't say that's a non-zero chance. Some other guy, so DJ Shark still there. MVS, I kind of like. I mean, he's going to run all the routes for Patrick Mahomes' offense.
Yeah. What about Hunter Renfrow? I mean, he makes a lot of money. He was a thing.
With Myers going outside, there's potential there.
Jimmy G too. Like Jimmy G can't throw farther than 10 yards. Well, good news. Guess who's running those routes?
It's true.
Yeah,
Hunter Renfrow. 1,000 yards, 100 catches, 9 touchdowns in 2021. He was more productive than DK Metcalf, I think, in almost each one of those stats. Maybe but it was at least close.
I would love to know why they felt the need to get Jacoby Myers on the team, even if they do trade away Darren Waller.
I assumed they view Jacoby as an outside wide receiver, which
he performed well there.
He did. It's a little bit to be determined though.
Right.
Taekwon. I mean, we're going to be in a position to hammer rookie running backs, and I think we just hope that we hit on guys that land in decent spots.
What about Nico Collins? I know there's a Nico Collins hive on the Bird app. I mean, Brandon Cooks is gone. It's really, really desolate. So
I don't know who these people you guys keep referring to as like the Nico Collins hive. He stinks.
You're not on Twitter enough, apparently.
All these people must be muted for hyping up shitty players, because I have no time of day for people who want to be a part of a Nico Collins hive.
Somebody's got to catch the ball.
Cold.
Absolutely. I'm in a mood today. I don't know what it is, guys, but
you're feisty. This is feisty Scott Barrett today. This is
dude, Tim Patrick gets me excited. I don't know why.
How does a guy like Tim Patrick get you excited, but then you're so far out on Nico Collins?
So Benjamin Albright, who is right maybe 66% of the time, he said he thinks the team views Tim Patrick still as the wide receiver 1, and there's more trades to come, which could include Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton.
I mean, I do like me some Tim Patrick.
Yeah, I'm not anti.
Paris Campbell as a New York's deep threat. They really wanted to add speed.
Why did you just draft Hodgins at that?
John Mechie is an upside play. Although
I'd rather. I don't think you can. I don't know if Mechie plays this year.
Yeah, you can't do anything until we hear something on that.
I like Shakir. I like Tank Bigsby
I don't like
a lot.
Shakir.
Really?
Tank Bigsby sucks.
No,
Yes,
he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. His backup is so much better.
So what about
Did you not read the new fantasy points prospect guide?
Yeah, this is one of those guys that Brett is just wrong on. Like, sorry, not.
What about?
All right, listen to this. No. This is important. In 2021, Tank Bigsby averaged 4.9 yards per carry. His backup, Jarquez Hunter, averaged 6.7 yards per carry. In 2022, Tank Bigsby averaged 5.4 yards per carry. His backup, Jarquez Hunter, averaged 6.4 yards per carry. Listen, I get it. Different deployments, maybe a little more stacked boxes for Tank Bigsby, but to see, 1.5 to 2 extra points and yards per carry, like that is a massive red flag. And he didn't really excite me by anything else. So I'm just going to think Brett is wrong on Tank Bigsby.
I remember talking to Brett about him, and he did point out that the stack boxes was a big issue for him.
I haven't looked at that data. I have to talk to a PFF friend and hope they send me some spreadsheets. But
all right, DJ Shark, Roshan Johnson is interesting to me. I know you guys like Tim Patrick a lot. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, big Tim Patrick guy.
You know what? I'll let you make the decision, Chris. This one's all you.
All right, we're going.
Don't blow it.
We're taking DJ Shark.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that. You jerk.
Over Tim Patrick.
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, your
do you want to hit Juwan Johnson on the way back?
No. Actually, that's not bad. He's a TikTok star. Juwan Johnson.
Never mind.
TikTok followers of any NFL athlete.
So Tyler Higbee is interesting. I mean, if they're keeping Stafford.
Can you go back to wide receiver for a second?
All right, we're back up again. We definitely do need to start hitting some running backs, though.
Who are you looking at? Juwan Johnson.
Juwan just went.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not. I think we can wait more.
Tim Patrick, Paris Campbell.
All right.
There's some rookie running backs I like way more than Tank. Kendry Miller.
I like Kendry. I like Roshan.
I really like Roshan too.
Oh, now you and look who takes him.
I missed it. Yeah, sorry.
You told the roofing man that you loved.
Asshole. He does he?
And then
I hope he fucking falls off.
All right, so I think with the way our team is right now, we've got 5 picks left, I think. So we definitely need a second tight end. So that gives us 4 to work with at running back and receiver. We probably need at least 2 running backs because we didn't really draft any high end ones. So probably 2 to 3 running backs and whatever receivers are left over from there.
Tank
or a third QB. I mean,
I want Paris Campbell, and then let's just focus on the other positions. I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see what QBs are still out there if we think one is worth being a third QB. I mean, maybe.
Oh no! Oh no, guys!
What's breaking?
Oh, no.
Don't miss your opportunity.
No, someone just sent me a text message and it was a tweet from Elijah Moore that says, "I need a long, relaxing massage." And I was like, "Oh no, he did not just tweet that out." And I clicked it. It was from actually my birthday, July 30th, 2016. 2016. So, but yikes,
the internet moves fast.
That was scary.
Oh boy,
you know that's gonna take off. Like you have to know that someone has already sifted through that to find it. It's going on Reddit, and then it'll be everywhere.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So do any of these QBs think worth being a third QB with Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers? I mean, no one's really jumping out at me. Maybe Mac Jones, but like, I don't. Never mind, he's gone.
I mean, league
Taylor
like,
Heineke. Because I mean, can Atlanta even draft a quarterback?
Yeah, they're 8.
Yeah, they could
Yeah,
easily draft one. I mean, you could be looking at Will Levis there.
Yeah.
You sound really excited. About that.
I mean, Baker's probably going to play. I mean, Tampa's in full tank mode.
That's right. And we have Rashad White.
Yeah. I mean, is
Not
he worth it though?
Probably
I
not.
mean,
Not when you have Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, there's not. If there was a Anthony Richardson or really any of the rookies other than Will Levis, I think I'd be interested in them. But I don't know. I don't think any of these guys really are doing it. Tight ends for our second tight end, Dalton Kincaid.
Ooh.
Never mind. What is happening? Luke
Zach
Musgrave,
Ertz?
Sam
Why
Laporta.
is Zach Ertz going so late?
Oh, I think Zach Ertz his time has come.
he's toast.
Are we sure?
Torn ACL with McBride. Yeah, I'm willing to bet he's toast. And a late season tear as well.
Yeah, I'd rather throw a dart
GGs.
on one of the rookie tight ends or something. Like they have
I mean,
higher upside than Ertz.
Yeah,
Ferguson.
you're right. My bad. Can you click on running backs?
What about handcuffing your tight end with Noah Gray? Galaxy Brain Move 2023.
So that would be like the ultimate leverage play if you didn't draft Kelsey, but then drafted Mahomes in the second round. You take
Right.
Noah Gray. You just bury all the Kelsey teams.
And that would be elite.
Kendry Miller would definitely be interesting here. Paris Campbell just went. I'm sorry, Scott.
Sad. Cordarrelle Patterson. Is that a possibility?
What's his?
Jerick McKinnon. Oh no, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, he's a free agent still. I think Miller's that's a good pick here. Rashi Rice.
Jerome Ford.
Jerome Ford, I was literally just about to say him. I kind of like that role in Cleveland. And I think he was actually a running back I kind of liked coming out, but it didn't end up getting any draft capital.
Are you do you like Israel Abanikanda?
Yeah. I don't know if
Ooh, Deontay Hardy.
I don't know what the NFL is going to think of him and if he's going to get no. Actually, Hardy would make sense with Allen a lot.
Right.
Yep.
Especially if he supplants Stephon Diggs as the wide receiver 1.
Scott, no one's going to come watch the stream if you say things like that.
Oh, it's too much fun.
Oh my gosh.
Who took Kenny Pickett?
No, enough.
Oh, who took him?
Let's see.
Hopefully nobody, because they're
I want
smart
to
humans.
send them a prize.
B Money 878.
Yeah.
And he took
That's good.
Zeke.
Did he stack him at least? Pickens. Yeah, I mean he took George Pickens, so he was forced into it.
Got the late stack? Okay. Redeemable. Not
Probably-
drafting naked Kenny Pickett.
I was going to say probably better than Naked King.
Oh my god. The first montage I put together of this show is just going to be every time Scott says Kenny Pickett. Like, I think I might have to do that.
You're probably already good. You probably already have enough.
With a counter, like at the top, just counting how many times.
I can't help but stare at Chris's account balance in the top right-hand corner. I mean, how are we ever going to compete against the Pat Corain show?
When the balance goes up, like we're transparent. All right,
Hey, this will win us 200K. Then that gets us, 10% of the way there.
We gotta grind our bankroll up to 2 million. I mean, how cool would that be, Chris? Is if we did win this and then we won several.
We would have. I think we'd have the first live streamed winner.
That's big. That's key. That's huge.
I don't
we
believe
need to like improve our strategy somehow. Like really just throw people off our scent, and obviously our live stream will suffer, and so people will stop watching. But we'll make more money that way. Just hyping up terrible picks every time we're on the clock. Are about to be
Phenomenal. Absolutely sensational.
How many picks do we have left?
we have 3 more picks.
Right.
One of them has to be a tight end. Or should be.
Hurst. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about it.
Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick of the.
Jake Ferguson, is he the new Dalton Schultz?
I'm hoping so. I picked him up off waivers everywhere.
I've been thinking about. I'm trying to figure out what they think of Ferguson versus Peyton Hendershot. And like, is Hendershot more of the receiving guy? Because that's what Hendershot definitely was in college.
He had an elite yardage market share season 1 year. I remember.
Yeah. I mean, Ferguson did a lot. Ferguson's game in college was basically entirely screens and design targets, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, getting the ball in a tight end's hands means he must be pretty good with it, with running the football. So it's not a bad thing. But part of me does wonder if Dallas thinks Hendershot is a better receiver than Ferguson is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But if it's the other way around, I mean, I think whoever it is, and probably just taking shots on both guys is probably the only downside is, do they draft a guy? As long as they don't draft one of the top guys, you're probably doing all right with that late round dart.
Well, wasn't that the argument for Blake Jarwin over Dalton Schultz?
Yeah, and then he got hurt though, right? Or are you talking?
I think Schultz was just a lot better.
Well, Jarwin tore his ACL. Yeah, Jarwin tore his ACL, what, 2 years ago? And then last year
it wasn't Schultz's breakout year. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's when Jarwin tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Or was it?
I will always remember this because of Mike Wright's tears of the fantasy footballers when Jarwin went down. I will always remember this.
But I mean, the same argument that we're having about Ferguson versus Henderson, I think, is very similar to what the Jarwin versus Schultz argument was then. And it was
Jarwin tore his ACL in 2020, but the breakout year was 2021. They were going in by ADP. Jarwin was ahead of Schultz, and then week 1 they kind of split the work, and then week 2 and beyond Schultz took over. That's how I remember it.
Okay. So he was coming off the ACL.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, who knows if at one point, maybe pre-ACL, is Jarwin even in the league anymore?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Let's
So maybe he just lost it from that point.
We're gonna have a unique roster. No one's looking at Jarwin. So if he comes back and
oh my gosh,
to the Chiefs and Kelsey gets hurt, we win all.
All right.
And Kelsey gets hurt. This guy says.
Yeah, Kelsey. So that makes no sense.
How do you put that in the air like that?
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Deuce Vaughn. Fuck yeah.
No, too tiny.
Yeah, but he's so fun though.
He's so fun. Yeah. I'm not trying to be fun. I'm trying to win, Scott.
How you not root for the guy who's 5'3"? Little deucey.
No running back should be smaller than I am.
What about Evan Hall?
No, he's terrible.
What?
He's awful. Are you kidding me? He's had 0 30
You like Keaton Mitchell, I know.
Yeah, I do. Arbitrage Devon A-Chain. Evan Hall has had 0 30+ yard runs over his last, 400 carries. Guy is no explosion.
What about guys like Samaje Perine? Like, does he enter the conversation at all as like a capable third down back if Javonte is gone? Like, I'm sure he's gone at this point, but we haven't discussed him.
You took Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, he's good in a best ball format. The guy just broke. He had like an explosive play once every 3 touches,
Yeah, as long
Something
as he's
insane like that.
bigger than Deuce Vaughn, he's okay in my book.
Evan Hull had one explosive play every 300.
He's a
touchdowns.
volume
That's
king,
his
though.
only explosive play.
All right, let's grab our last tight end here of the group. Ferguson, Darnell Washington, Musgrave,
Sam
Laporta. Want to go Laporta?
Albert O, maybe? New
Does
regime, maybe they like him. I don't know.
Does Conklin?
Oh, Robert Tonyan? Oh, he's with
Yeah,
Chicago.
Cole Kmet, yeah.
All
All right, let's take Laporta. All right, well, then
Over
leaves
Musgrave?
us.
I guess he's just more polished.
I think, I like Musgrave as a prospect better, but yeah, Laporta might be a little more polished. I don't have a hard stance on either one. I would probably like exposure to both of them. All right, that leaves us with one pick left. We have 2 QBs, 6 running backs, 9 wide receivers, 2 tight end. We probably need another running back because we invested more heavily in wide receiver. We definitely need there's a good chance we don't, if Kamara's suspended, that we don't have a solid.
Let's say Kamara's suspended 3 games. That doesn't really move the needle too much.
Sure.
Raheem Mostert's going to have, I don't know,
3 healthy games. Hopefully.
Once every 3 games he's healthy, so he'll have 1.
He doesn't have to just be healthy though. He also has to be good. So that's definitely a risk.
All right, just think about it from a tournament perspective. Like, let's say this team's already in the playoffs. What does it need to push it above everyone else?
2 Boston Scott versus the New York Giants games.
Yes,
perhaps?
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if the schedules will give us that.
What do you guys think about Antonio Brown? Because if he comes back,
no. Oh
my gosh.
I did a lot of that last year.
You did.
But I also did it the year before that, and that worked out well.
Never gonna give you up. All right. Is
Deuce Vaughn there?
Maybe a Kyron
What if
Williams.
Deuce Vaughn has like a Darren Sproles breakout? Because everyone counted him out.
We already took 1 small running back in Keaton Mitchell. I don't know if I can stomach.
That's right. Well, Keaton Mitchell's not that much bigger than Deuce Vaughn.
I know he's not that. He's like A-chain size, right?
So in the world of potential handcuffs, you have guys like James Robinson sitting beside Mondre Stevenson, Isaiah Spiller, Boston Scott, Kyron Williams, all as legitimate handcuffs at this point in the offseason.
Who
the
has
highest upside at this point? Because I think the rookie running backs are kind of tapped, except for maybe a guy like, I don't know, Evan Hull.
Maybe James Robinson. He probably makes the most sense to me.
Definitely capable if he has the job.
Or what if Austin Eckler does get traded, and then
you have
Isaiah Spiller? No, he stinks. He's terrible. He's just not run the ball ever.
Who's the back? I'm blanking on the back. Who was the backup last year for Eckler? Not Roundtree.
Joe Kelly.
Yeah, right. It was Kelly last year.
It was Kelly. It was a rotation, honestly, because Sony Michel was there for a little bit, and then it was Kelly and Roundtree and Spiller. That's why I think a guy like Roshan is just destined to go to the Chargers.
I think Abinaconda is okay too, sure, if he lands in the right team.
You want to just click wide receiver or tight end? There might be someone who's just a little more exciting. Sterling Shepard. I don't know how he's not cooked, but
a new contract.
Hey, Braxton Berrios, wide receiver 3 in Miami. Legitimately,
I don't hate it. Yeah, I don't hate it. Trent Sherfield. He's going to be the full-time slot guy for Buffalo. Trey Palmer, Jaden Reed. These are more exciting.
Yeah,
but we definitely.
Screw it. Who cares? Let's say Kendry Miller is a freak and somehow the best running back in the class, and we needed this extra wide receiver.
All right, let's definitely take a guy with high upside then. Maybe a low
Justin
floor.
Ross.
You want to talk about a guy with high upside and low floor.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a third quarterback in this situation, Desmond Ridder doesn't pop up at all to potentially pair with Drake London for big games. We saw he doesn't even need to rush to have that in his final start. in his rookie season. Like he is still there.
I just don't think he's very good.
Fair. That's completely legitimate. But I don't think a lot of these wide receivers are very good either.
That's a good point.
So we're talking about a guy that is potentially the starter, has a good offense built around him, and can run. And we have Drake London. I just feel like that might fit if you are looking for a 3 quarterback build, or you can double down and just take a Tyler Heineke if you really think he's bad enough to lose his job.
Wait, did Tyler Scott go?
No, he's still here.
Yeah, let's take him. Greg Cosell said his tape was better than Jalen Hyatt's.
What?
Yeah,
I like Tyler Scott, but I did not. I brought
that up to Brett, and he was like, "That's probably true. His tape is fantastic."
Really?
So, yeah, Tyler Scott.
Well, he's probably going to be gone here in a second.
Roofing man. Nope.
Will Levis saved us.
Levis.
Roofing man, you just logged out of the chat. We gave him the good plays, and he was like, "Enough of that."
All right, so we finished with Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers at QB, Joe Mixon, Rashad White, Alvin Kamara, Raheem Mostert, Kendra Miller, Keaton Mitchell at running back, Chris Olave, Drake London. Oh no.
Oh no.
You almost got there.
Almost. Wide receiver, Chris Olave, Drake London, Keenan Allen, Jahan Dotson, Alan Lazard, Rashid Shaheed, DJ Shark, Tim Patrick, Deontay Hardy, Tyler Scott. And then tight end is Travis Kelce and Sam Laporta.
Man, that is a worrisome tight end group. Stay healthy, GOAT.
We probably should have taken the tight end just a little bit earlier.
Our team is dead if Kelce's not in our lineup every week anyway, so might as well lean into it.
Maybe Sam Laporta will score 1 touchdown that bye week.
Yeah, exactly. We just need Kelce to have 5 points in the quarterfinals and Laporta to have a 2 touchdown game, and then Kelce take over again.
Right.
I think what stands out to me, and I'll ask you gentlemen right after, is how hard the wide receivers went to the point where DVS is going in that second round. I mean, even before T. Higgins, which is kind of wild to me. But wide receivers did not get hammered this hard in the last draft. Do you think this is just a one-off, or is this just destined to be the way?
I think it's going to be pretty wide receiver heavy in more drafts than not. We saw it last year, especially as more and more people started drafting through the summer. People just seem to really be buying into that wide receivers out are just a little bit more stable, can have higher upsides than some of the other perceived top running backs outside of, whatever guys end up being the elite running backs that year.
Absolutely. I love that. Scott, what's your take on the amount, there's just sheer volume of wide receivers?
Yeah, I don't know. It's easier to go quantity over quality at a certain point, just because there are so many of them. And that's maybe where our edge is as analysts, is sifting through those later rounds to find wide receivers with legitimate upside and I don't know, a guaranteed floor of 60 or more targets.
Well, fantastic. I love that. I think I like this team a little bit better than the last one. But I will say I'd like your favorite pick and your worst picks from this draft. It could be our team, someone else's, but we'll start with our favorite picks. Chris, what was your favorite pick from this whole draft? Just from where it was, the player.
I'll go with probably, I think Jahan Dotson. He should be going way before the 7th round. I don't really care who his QB is. I think he was one of the best rookie Rodgers. I mean, he was competing with Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, like a very strong group of other rookie wide receivers. I think his season was very underrated, whether it's Sam Howell or Jacoby Brissett. I think both those guys can get it done enough to make him better than some of the other wide receivers he's going around. He's a guy, I think I really like this year.
Yeah, that's a great spot. And I mean, going after someone like Gabe Davis, who we should just be putting to bed at this point for that, year 4 breakout now. It's over. So I agree. I think Dotson should be going a little higher. Scott, your favorite pick from this entire draft?
Yeah, I don't really know. not following this close enough, but yeah, any of the players I've talked about, hyped up: Kadarius Toney, Darren Waller, Dalvin Cook. Yeah, where did we get Dalvin Cook? That was silly.
We didn't get Dalvin
Oh,
Cook.
Roofing Man stole him. That's
Dalvin
what it
Cook,
was.
Scott.
That's what it was. That
Yeah,
was
Roofing
the
Man
pick
took him
we
right. That was a pretty good pick by Roofing Man.
That was right before us too. Oh, we could have Dalvin and Mixon back to back.
Unbelievable. Chris, what was your least favorite pick? I know we knew what the last one was. All right, so what's this one?
I'm gonna go with. I'm looking at our team. I don't hate any of the picks that we made, so I'm gonna go off the board here with one of these other teams.
We found out who was sniping us, Mr. Richard Turner.
Oh,
after
snake in the grass. I see he looks so friendly in his little avatar, and then this motherfucker, the roofer man,
invited to the
roof,
barbecue, no
alongside
more.
shingles and a sniper rifle pointed right at us.
Thanks for joining us, man. It was a lot of fun, honestly. Thank you for riding with us in the chat and in the draft. Sorry there, Chris. Worst pick or least.
Well, now a little bit out of spite, I got to go with the Geno Smith pick by Roofing Man. Because I mean, Daniel Jones, Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers, like Geno is not outscoring any of those QBs this year. I mean, just so many higher upside. Like Geno, they could draft Anthony Richardson, who's ready to go by week 7.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nope. I think that's legitimately fair. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to wrap this whole thing up and get everyone out of here for the rest of their Wednesday. Sit tight. As will be every Wednesday here on Fantasy Points, the best ball breakdown is already shaping up to be a fantastic time. And you should all be joining us by hitting the subscribe button, hit the bell, get notified. Obviously, you should be going to Underdog Fantasy using promo code FANTASYPTS. Get that deposit match up to $100. It's free money. You might as well do it. Hang out with us. I mean, you're already doing it, so get in there. Final thoughts before we get out of here, Scott.
What a pleasure this was. What a wonderful time. Thank you for joining us. It means the world to me. I had such a great time. Thank you.
You sound so genuine. Chris, final thoughts.
Just keep coming back every Wednesday. It's great to be drafting, dealing with all the ADP stuff. There'll be still plenty of NFL news to happen. Aaron Rodgers, DeAndre Hopkins, the draft. So much is going to change between now and the start of the season.
Phenomenal. Of course, for all the viewers and listeners, head over to fantasypoints.com. Check out that prospect guide. Remember that best ball breakdown, we're here for you every Wednesday. And for Scott, Chris, and myself, thank you for hanging out with us. Until next time, ciao.